another question I always ask people is, what book recommendations do you have? What resource recommendations do you have? Like, what's some of your favorites? What would you recommend for newer aspiring PMs?
Yeah, so when I was doing my interview process, I read Cracking the PM Interview. I think it's Jackie Bavardo. I hope I said her last name right, but she's a really actually went to one of her conferences for Black product managers. First conference earlier this, what is it, March? She gave a great talk. The book really gives you a host of questions that you can expect to hear depending on the company, because some companies like to speak more theoretical, such as design alarm clocks for blind people, etc. And some companies, they're going to ask you directly questions that's related to the business. I've heard Uber does that. They want to know things directly related to Uber, no necessarily theoretical things. So it's going to depend on the business. But getting down your process as a PM is important. Another resource that I used a little bit was Exponent. It's an interview tool that you can go in and do your practice interviews. I can't really say enough getting in front of people and talking. That's really like, that is so important, just getting comfortable doing that um, and preparing yourself for what you're going to say. So cracking the PM interview, Exponent, the interview a prep for YouTube. What other tools did I use? I did a lot of just going down. I made a Google Doc and I went through some interview questions from cracking the PM interview. Also with what's his name? I think I want to say CS Lynn. He had a whole host of interview questions. I'm gonna be honest with you. I didn't really use that one too much because it was like overwhelming. I went through the requirements for a job after I've gotten an interview, and I went through a doc and I answered them. I sat right there across from my brother, and I just went back and forth between answering those questions. Hours, hours of prep, hours of prep. I know it sucks. Some people are better interviewers than me. Like, I hate speaking like I'm just this, and I hate doing that. But it's important to really get into the habit of, you got to wag your own tail a little bit. You know what I mean? Don't be afraid to wag your own tail. It's not bragging. You're just telling the truth here. But you got to practice doing that. And I did that for hours with my brother. Get through those requirements that from the job post, answer them, but not answer them. They're asking you those questions. They want to hear certain things. So find out what they're really trying to ask and answer them and structure them in a way a product manager is going to answer. Don't just haphazardly answer. Structure it is important. Structure thinking, can't get past that.